Part A. Cultivation of Virtues. 1. Shivananda on the formation of character. Children of divinity, my master is never harsh nor strict when he teaches. By winning them with his kind and compassionate words, giving them titles, even for ordinary achievements, to encourage them is his unique method. His heart's compassion is by itself the characteristic of Shiva's philosophy. A practical Vedantin, he sees the self alone everywhere. His rich philosophy is born out of his limitless universal love. Shivananda's philosophy is purely based on optimism. His teachings are short and to the point. Swamiji Maharaj, in his famous book, Sure Ways for Success in Life and God Realization, in chapter 4, gives some lessons on the importance of cultivating of virtues, which I am quoting here. A man may die, but his character remains. It is the character that gives force and power to man. Without character, the attainment of knowledge is impossible. A man without any character is ignored and despised by the community. If you want success in life, if you want to influence others, if you want to progress well in the spiritual path, and if you wish to have God realization, you must possess an unblemished, spotless character. Shankara, Buddha, Jesus, and other sages of yore are remembered even now because they had wonderful character. They influenced people and converted others through their force of character. Money is nothing before character. Character is a mighty soul force. A man may be a skillful artist. He may be a clever musician. He may be an able poet or a great scientist. But if he has no character, he has no real position in society. Character is a broad term. In a restricted sense, it means moral character. A man may be strictly moral, but if he speaks deliberate untruth, if he is selfish and greedy, if he hurts the feelings of others, he is called a man of bad character. A man who wants to develop his character must possess all the qualities in accordance with the 13th and 16th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. The subconscious mind is your willing servant, and you must know how to extract work from that. It will establish new character, new ideals, new mental aspirations, and new desires to possess this virtue, which is courage. The supply can come only when there is demand. First, try to create a desire. You should possess will. Will follows desire, just as dog follows the master. Feel that you actually possess this virtue. Repeat the words mentally and with all firmness at your command. Om Courage. Feel mentally you have got it. You must imagine you have got this virtue and try to express it in daily conduct. This virtue will develop slowly. Wait coolly, do not be discouraged. The force of old wrong tendency of timidity and fear is there. There is an internal fight between the old and new samskaras. Eventually, the new samskaras will carry the day. Always positive overcomes the negative. Have unshakable faith and confidence that you will possess courage soon. Building up of character is building of habits. New, healthy, strong, virtuous habits will replace old, morbid, abnormal, vicious habits. If you find it difficult to build up your character, remain in the company of sages and saints. Their strong spiritual currents will change your character. This will give you success in life. Character is the garb of saintliness. 2. Adaptability. Swamiji's book continues to say, adaptability is a virtue, a noble quality by which one adapts or fits himself with others, whatever their nature may be. The vast majority of persons do not know how to adjust themselves with others. Adaptability is a peculiar knack or pluck to win the hearts of others, and ultimately the battle of life by a little bit of bending. Speak gently and sweetly. Carry out the orders to the very letter. Never retort your superior. Obedience is greater than reverence. The superior wants a little respect from his subordinates. Say, "Very well, sir." It costs you nothing. Humility and obedience are necessary for developing adaptability. The egoistic, proud man finds it very difficult to adapt himself. He is always in trouble. Egoism and pride are two obstacles in the way of progress. A man of adaptability can develop balanced mind. He can live in any environment. He is always happy and successful. 3. Truthfulness. Truth alone triumphs, but not falsehood. A truthful man is absolutely free from worries and anxieties. He has a calm mind. He is respected by society. Shrutis emphatically declare, Satyam Vada. If you strictly observe speaking truth for 12 years, you will get Vak Siddhi. Then whatever you speak will come to pass. Then you can influence thousands. The little gain that you get by telling lies is no gain at all. You pollute your conscience and infect your subconscious mind. The habit of telling lies is carried to your next birth, and you will have to undergo lots of sufferings from birth to birth. Write in bold letters, speak truth on thick cardboards, and hang them in prominent places in your houses and offices, and this can check you from speaking a lie. Punish yourself by fasting if you tell a lie and record the lies in your diary. Gradually, the number of lies will decrease and you will become a truthful man. 4. Self reliance. Swami says on self reliance as follows: Self reliance gives immense internal strength. This is an important qualification for material and spiritual success. Luxurious habits have rendered people very weak. In olden days, our forefathers had wonderful physique and vitality. They had longevity of life. Nowadays, man depends on others for everything. He has lost this virtue of self reliance. He has no inner life. A doctor and a lawyer want servants to put on their shoes. They cannot walk even a furlong. You must give up the false idea of prestige and position. The modern man now wants a pill from the hands of a sannyasi for his spiritual uplift. They do not want to undergo any sort of sadhana. Every one of you should place yourself each step in the spiritual ladder. You are your own savior. No one can save another. You will have to depend on yourself alone. Stand up on your own legs and get success in the world and in the spiritual path. Tap the source and draw power by closing the eyes. 5. Patience and perseverance. These two go hand in hand. These are noble qualities that are born of sattva. No success either in the material world or in the spiritual path is possible without these qualities. These qualities develop the willpower. The success of Mahatma Gandhi was due to these qualities. He never got discouraged by failures. All great persons of the world have achieved greatness, success, and eminence through patience and perseverance. A patient man always keeps his head cool and has a balanced mind. Many people get discouraged when they encounter some difficulties and give up the work as hopeless. The ants collect small particles of sugar and rice and store them up in their abode. How patient and persevering they are! In the Bible, you will find the words, Be wise, observe the ways of the ant. The bees collect a drop of honey from each flower so patiently and store the honey in the honeycomb. How patient and persevering they are! A patient man cannot be irritated even a bit. Do all your routine in the day patiently. Be eager to develop them. Have a mental image of Om patience in your mind, and I assure you that you will become an embodiment of patience ultimately. 6. Sincerity and honesty. A sincere man and one who is honest gets success always in his work. He is very much liked by his superiors. Honesty is the best policy in the West, but it is a sacred virtue in the East. A sincere man is soft hearted, generous, unassuming, frank, honest, and true. He will not find it difficult to find a job anywhere. People are quite eager to take a sincere man in their service. Throughout the Gita, the one ringing note is that the aspirant in the path of self realization should possess this important virtue. Look at the unflinching devotion of Lakshmana to Sri Rama. Savitri was very sincere to her husband. She saved her husband's life from the jaws of death. Maitreyi was very sincere too. So she received the Atma Vidya from her husband. Meera was very sincere towards her beloved Krishna. She had the good fortune to have darshan of Gopal. A sincere man is a god on earth. There is no virtue greater than sincerity. It should be developed at all costs by one and all. 7. Contentment. It is a vital subject. Swamiji says, the mind is always restless on account of greed. Greed is a kind of internal fire that consumes a man slowly. Contentment is a powerful antidote for the poison of greed. There are 4 sentinels who guard the domain of moksha. They are Shanti, Satsang, Santosh, and Vichara. If you can approach any one of these sentinels, you can get hold of the other 3. The man who is endowed with this important virtue is the richest man in all the 3 worlds. Even the richest man who is equal to Kubera, who possesses Chintamani, Kamadhenu, and Kalpataru, desires to have a domain overseas. The man who is living up to 150 years tries to prolong his longevity by taking rasayanas. The mind grasps one thing and leaves it the next moment and tries to grasp another. Man moves restlessly in this world and says, "This is mine, I will try to possess that also." O restless mind, do not drag me in these impure desires and evil objects. Give me a desireless pure mind. Let my mind be ever fixed on the truth. Gita also says, be content with whatever you get by chance and apply yourself to meditation with a dispassionate mind. Socrates speaks very highly of this virtue. Although people know this is a virtue that can give peace of mind, yet they do not try to develop this virtue because they have lost the power of discrimination and power of atmic inquiry on account of passion and greed. The man who is contented is full of sattva. He is more energetic, calm, and with one pointed mind. Try to develop mental contentment. 8. Regularity and punctuality. No man can reasonably expect success in life and God realization if he does not possess these qualifications. Perfect discipline can be maintained only by regularity and punctuality. Man evolves quickly by regular habits. That man who is irregular and does his actions by fits and starts cannot reap the fruits of his efforts. Learn your lesson from the nature. Mark how the season rotates regularly, how the minutes, days, nights, weeks, and months and years roll on. Nature is your teacher and guide. Open your eyes, assimilate the instructions, and follow. Regularity, punctuality, and discipline go hand in hand. They are inseparable. See how an Englishman adjusts his time to the very second. There may be a few geniuses in India like Mahatma Gandhi, C.V. Raman, Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, and a few sages. Indians, as a rule, are notorious for their Indian punctuality. Wake up, Indians, wake up! That man who is regular and punctual will get sure success in all walks of life. There is no doubt. Be regular in going to bed and in rising up early in the morning. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Regularity should be your watchword. 9. Pushing nature. Pushing nature is also called gushing nature. This is the opposite of shyness. The man of pushing nature wants to penetrate into all places like ether. Some doctors, lawyers, and businessmen are starving because they have not got the pushing nature. They are intelligent and clever, but unfortunately, they are so shy. They cannot influence other people. A man of pushing nature is always very active. He knows how to serve people and get into their confidence. He wants to rise up on the ladder of fortune and in the estimate of the world. He is also very jovial and cannot sit idle for a minute. Europeans have this pushing nature in a large measure. Englishmen came in the beginning to India as mere traders and started the East India Company, then slowly became the rulers of this soil only through their pushing nature. Vasco da Gama had this pushing nature and discovered a sea route to India. So did Columbus, who discovered America. Pushing nature always keeps a man active and is useful for the religious aspirant too. This is an important qualification for all in all professions. 10. Pluck and knack. This is also another important and most essential quality. When a man flourishes in business, people say, Mr. So and so has got a good business knack. He has got the good pluck. Politeness, courtesy, good behavior are all hidden in this quality called pluck. A man of business knack is very careful in his accounts. He has good memory. He has presence of mind. He is not afraid of failure or loss. A businessman with presence of mind will not be disappointed with a failure. He will make it up very quickly by starting some other sideline. A man with knack and pluck can work wonders in the world. Even religious preachers are in need of this quality. Then alone they can influence people and spread their teachings far and wide. Religious teachers have to adopt various methods of work according to times, conditions, and the needs. So you see now, children of divinity, how Swamiji moves with the conditions and the needs of the man. Swamiji further teaches us culture of will and memory in the following lines in the same book, Sure Ways for Success in Life and God Realization. 11. Willpower. Attention, power of endurance, overcoming aversion, dislikes and irritations, fortitude in suffering, command of temper, forbearance, mental power of endurance, firmness in meeting danger, power of resistance, and keeping up daily diary, etc., all these pave a long way in developing the will. One should patiently hear the words of others even though they are not interesting and charming. He should not fret and fume. Patient hearing develops will and wins the hearts of others. One should do actions and tasks that are uninteresting for themselves at times. This also develops the willpower. Never complain against bad environments. Create your own mental world wherever you remain and wherever you go. If your mind deludes you at every moment and at every step, try to overcome the obstacles by suitable means. Do not try to run away from bad, unfavorable environments. God has placed you there to make you grow quickly. If you get all comforts in a place, you will not grow strong. Your mind will be puzzled in a new place when you find you cannot get these comforts. You will find raga dvesha even in the eternal snowy regions of the Himalayas near Gangotri. You cannot get an ideal place and ideal surroundings in any part of the world. Banaras is a center of Sanskrit learning, but it is famous for hot winds in summer. Uttarkashi in the Himalayas is beautiful, but you cannot get vegetables and the cold in winter is very biting. This world is a relative plane of good and evil. Remember this point at all times. Try to live happily in any place, under any condition. You will become a strong, dynamic personality. This is a great secret. You can conquer any difficulty. The practice of concentration is of great help to strengthen the will. You must have an intelligent understanding of the habits of the mind, how it wanders and how it operates. The practice of thought culture, the practice of concentration, the practice of memory culture is all allied subjects. There is no hard and fast rule. The moment you go to bed, simply relax the mind and give the suggestion, I will have good sleep now. Do not think of anything else. Napoleon had this habit. Even when the bugle was blowing and the drums were beating on the battlefield, he would be snoring. His subconscious mind would wake him up at the very second he wanted to get up. With a cool mind, Napoleon would appear like a lion on the battlefield. Even Mahatma Gandhi had this practice. This kind of practice is a blessing to busy people. Their nerves are under great tension and pressure. By relaxing them every now and then, they could refresh themselves and keep quite fit for further activities. Dr. Annie Besant used to write editorial columns when moving in the cars and trains. There are some doctors who read newspapers even when they are in the water closets. They keep their minds fully occupied. This is the best of all practices for keeping up physical and mental brahmacharya. Those who want to become magnetic and dynamic personalities or prodigies should utilize every second to the best possible advantage and should try to grow mentally, morally, and spiritually every second. Every one of us should realize the value of time. This can make a man a wonderful world figure. 12. Memory. Memory culture is another important point. It brings success in all his endeavors. A man with strong and retentive memory gets sanguine success in all his undertakings. In Sanskrit term, memory is smriti. Smarana is remembering. This is the function of the subconscious mind, chitta. It is like the sensitive plate of a gramophone. All the impressions are indelibly recorded there. Whenever you make an attempt to remember the past events or things, they come back to the surface of the conscious mind through the trap door, just as the man, actor, enters the stage from the side curtains. Sometimes you say, I have no memory. Here it means you cannot bring out to the surface of the conscious mind in its original form the incident that occurred some time back. The following are the 4 good characteristics of good memory. If you read once a passage and if you can reproduce the same nicely, it is a sign to indicate that you have a good memory. 1. This is termed sugamata. 2. If you can reproduce the same thing without increase or decrease, it is called araihalya. 3. If you can preserve a fact or a passage or anything for a very considerable period, it is called retentive memory, dharana. 4. If you can reproduce a passage at once without any difficulty when it is needed, it is called upaharana. If your brother is a coward, the sight of a similar man in another place will bring to your mind the memory of your brother. This is memory due to similarity of objects, sadrishyata. A man of strong and retentive memory can turn out tremendous work in the twinkling of an eye. He can master any subject or art in a short time. In olden days, Sanskrit scholars got by heart all the Vedas. The Gurukula system of education has its own advantages. It develops memory to a very marvelous extent. There are some Pandits still who can recite by memory the whole of Upanishads, Gita, Brahma Sutras, Khandana Khadyam, Chitsukhi, and Advaita Siddhi, the greatest monumental works on Vedanta. Gurukul system of education is wonderful. The students of modern universities cannot compete with the Gurukul system. 13. Some exercises for memory culture. Here are some easy exercises for memory culture as told by Sivananda. Sit on Virasana or Padmasana. Close your eyes. Imagine there is a big garden. In one corner there are jasmine flowers, in other roses, in another champak, and so on. First think of the jasmine, then rotate the mind to roses, then to champak, and then to lily. Again bring back the mind to jasmine. Revolve the mind like this for 2 or 3 minutes. This is one kind of improving memory. Study one important shloka from the Gita. Find out parallel lines in the Ramayana, the Bhagavata, the Upanishad, the Bible, and connect all these passages and keep them in your mental disposition or pigeonholes of the brain. There is still another exercise. Just imagine that there is a canvas sheet in front of you, which contains the pictures of 9 animals. In the first top row, there are a lion, a leopard, and a cow. In the second row, a horse, zebra, and a bear. And in the third row, an elephant, buffalo, and a tiger. Practice to remember the animals in the first row, then in the second, and lastly in the third. Now lion, horse, elephant, leopard, zebra, buffalo, cow, bear, and tiger. You can change the order in many other ways, like algebraical formulae or permutation and combination. Exercise on the memory of different kinds of gross and subtle sounds, tastes of articles of food, touch of various articles on various shades of color, etc., can also be practiced with advantage. Practice self analysis or self examination for about 10 minutes before you retire to bed. Sit comfortably on a chair and close your eyes. Think of all actions, good and bad, that you have done during the course of the day. On the first day, you may not be able to find out even two or three mistakes in your actions because you are not in the habit of doing so. But by daily practice, you will be able to visualize clearly the actions and mistakes of the day. The mind becomes subtle and sharp by the practice of introspection. This practice will develop your memory and reduce the number of mistakes. You can note down all the actions in the night in your diary. A time will come when you will do only good actions without committing even a single mistake. You must know the art of extracting work from the subconscious mind. In matters which demand too much thinking and long deliberation, you will have to wait for some days before getting an answer from the subconscious mind. Again and again, you will have to command the subconscious mind and watch for the results. Repeat the command once or twice. A strong and retentive memory, a powerful will, and the practice of daily concentration and meditation will certainly make you versatile prodigy. Along the following lines, Swamiji also teaches us in his book, Sure Ways for Success in Life and God Realization.